Okay, brilliant. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, very good. A very good morning, everyone. So it's very, very good to be here back again. And it's really, really good to know that you guys can see me, see my screen okay, and listen to me all right. So here what I have at the moment is the cable trading instrument over here, the currency pair. But before that, before we jump in straight, just a very quick introduction to who I am. So basically, my name is Thiru Nagappan. For those of you who have not seen me speak, disclaimers over here, just that to make you all understand the risk is totally on your side, and is this for mainly for educational purposes. And that's a picture to put to my face over here. Humble beginnings, PhD researcher, went on to do a self-development workshop, Make It Happen in India, and I got into trading. The unique thing about us, which you realize through our presentation, is transparent track records, research-backed systems, and open door support. You want to know more about us, masterthemarkets.net. Don't want to take up much of your time, because today it's all about you and giving you lots and lots and lots of value, immense value, okay? There's going to be interactive games as well to get a free ticket to our Traders Base Camp when you purchase a ticket with a 50% discount, okay? Prize winners will be getting that awesome value, high quality material in the workshop. Great, so I'm on the screens at the moment. Just a quick question so that I can tailor my presentation accordingly. How many of you over here are beginners and intermediates? If you would just want to type in BEG for beginner and INT for intermediate, I can just know a feel of who is what in the room, and then I can tailor the presentation accordingly. Okay, already getting all the answers in over here. So I'm getting about, let's see, I'm getting about 80% of people being here being intermediates at the moment, okay? So I will do my best, to basically tailor the presentation, some for the beginners. Beginners, for the basics, we have designed a 5-part trading video actually, okay, which is included in your Traders Essential Kit. So if you want to get a copy, I think if Karan is in the room, he can type in tradersessentials.co.uk if I'm not wrong. I think that should be the web link, okay, for beginners if you want to know more about the basics, okay. Let me just see. I think he's in the room, if I'm not wrong. Let me just get this thing for you guys. Trader, just the one Traders Essentials. Okay, I'll just type it into you for you later on, and then we can just take it on from there. Okay, good. So,
Thiru, don't worry about the links, buddy. We'll put everything in as you go along, so you just focus on
thanks
trading.
a lot, Rishi. Yeah. Okay, great. So we got a good team there behind over there, and they will be posting all the links for you. So now let's take a look at cable over here. We are seeing a short move over here at the moment. I'm just going to do a very live analysis for you and set up the charts as well. I've told you in all our numerous webinars before that first you need a bias before you take a direction on your intraday time frame. Okay, you need to take a bias before you take a trade in your intraday time frame. The intraday time frame that we are using at the moment here, Master the Markets, extensive research has been made on this, is the 1 hour time frame. It's the 1 hour time frame, okay? Before I take a position on this, whether I'm going short or whether I'm going long, for beginners, short is down, going down, or going up, which is long. We explain all of this at Traders Base Camp, which you can get through your Traders Essential Kit. Now, in terms of getting the bias, I look at my higher time frame, which is my daily time frame over here. Okay, that's what we look at. Now, let's take a look at this, right? So let's take a look at that. So if I want to take a look at this, yesterday's bar is what we call is what we call a insider bar, okay, insider bar. Now go on and punch in into your chat box what you all would define as an insider bar, especially intermediates. If you want to just punch it into the chat box, what is the definition of an insider bar? If you just want to punch into the chat box on what's the definition of an insider bar, then I can see what people can understand by that. Okay, I'm getting yes. So people are saying that range within range of previous bar. Okay, so that's what we are having over here. If you want to define it more, then basically it's a lower high, okay, and it's a higher low. Okay, so that's what we have inside a bar, and it's totally engulfed within yesterday's range. Okay, now insider bars, they occur 10% of the time. They occur 10% of the time. So how do you trade an insider bar? How do you trade an insider bar? Remember, first thing first, traders, everything in trading is about percentage and probabilities, okay? Now, insider bars have their own statistics, Now, let me bring your focus to a particular point between an insider bar setup. There are two particular points that you must be wary of when you're trading an insider bar setup on an intraday fashion. The first point that you should be looking for is the low of the insider bar. It's for the low of the insider bar. The second low that you should be looking for is the low of the engulfing bar, or I shall call it IB minus 1. IB minus 1, basically the bar before the IB, the insider bar. These two levels are very, very critical when you're intraday trading. The way you trail your stop loss is based on analysis of whether the intraday price cuts these levels or not. Okay, the usual way that I usually take this trade is on a contrarian basis. When I go through the stops to cash strategy with you guys, coupled with this information, you will then start to understand how to use this setup to your advantage. But for now, all I want to keep your focus on is these two levels. That price needs to break on an intraday basis, and you need to focus on that level. Okay. So today, as you can see, is broken both those levels. Look at that. The low of the insider bar and the low of the IB minus 1. And when you go onto the intraday chart, I've marked that over here as previous day high and previous day low. Okay. And you also have the IB minus 1 low here and the IB minus 1 high over there as well. Okay, so over here you can see currently right now it has cut that range. Now very quickly, if you want to see if you still have a position on this or not, let's see this thing. It's traveled about 62 pips. Now what I want to do is I'm just going to give you all a quick arithmetic question over here. What I want you all to calculate over here at the moment is ATR 10 is 90 pips. ATR 10, let me just type in into the chat box. ATR 10 is 90 pips at the moment. Okay, ATR pips is 90 pips at the moment. What I want you all to type in into the chat box. Is basically what is 0.7 ATR of 90 pips. Okay, what would that be? Okay, Marino has got it right. He's the first one to answer it in 63 pips. 63 pips. Marino, you've been very, very highly participative and interactive. Seen you at many, many previous base camps as well. Okay, Right. Okay. So, Marvino, I would like to actually present to you for this most interactive thing at the moment. I don't know if you've won a prize before, but you haven't. Congratulations. We would like to award you a Traders Basecamp ticket with a 50% discount purchase of a tea kit. Okay. So I'll leave that to the back end boys for Marvino. Marvino, congratulations. And you can then receive your prize. Okay. If you want to just give us your contact details, your email address, and your number, and then our backend team can contact you. Okay, really brilliantly well done. Okay, I'll just type that in over here. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. Okay, great, 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 great. Now, coming back to here, I will now go back into our presentation. There's a reason why today I only will take a specific setup on insider bars for taking a short or a long position. I'll explain this once we've gone through our presentation for today. Okay, right, great. So let me put up the presentation and then we'll revert back to the screens once again. Before I revert back, before I actually go on the presentation, I want to quickly just analyze the other currency pairs along with you guys as well. So the daily time frame, you can see over here, the same thing over here, okay, on the dollar Swiss insider bar. Once again, over here, what we are having to the close above the 50% mid-range, but the IB -1 has closed below, okay, has closed below its 50% mid-range. Now, one advanced question that I want to ask all of you right now, okay? Now tell me all the different, in fact, we have located four positions in which an insider bar can form in a cycle, okay? Four positions where an insider bar can form. Let me guide you all a bit over here, traders, okay? So think about this in terms of a cycle. A cycle is a U, right? That's what I usually tell our beginners. For a downtrend, it's a U, and for an uptrend, it's an N, okay? So in terms of a U, where can an IB form? I'll give you the first guidance, okay? The first guidance. An IB can form once a swing low has been confirmed. So let me give you the first place where it can form. Once a swing low is confirmed, and before a swing high is confirmed, and before the previous swing low is taken out. So basically, think about this. So just as it's about to turn, I can get an insider bar forming around this point, just like here. Typical example. Look at that. Okay. So if I were to move the chart to the right, you can see beautiful example what I've just drawn here. Textbook example. Swing low has been confirmed. Imagine that this swing high has not been confirmed yet. Let me take out our smart money indicator off. And then you can see that in terms of the swing low here, that's been confirmed over there. So you can see that's a tick. And then over here, the swing high has not been confirmed. Insider bar is over here at the moment, over here before it starts to turn. That is one position where the insider bar can form. So go ahead and think about it. If you can't get it, it's totally fine. Think about the three other positions. The three other positions where the insider bar can form. Okay, one other is already staring at you right at the moment in front of you. Okay, great. So that's to do with dollar Swiss. So at the moment, in terms of dollar Swiss, where will I be taking my bias in? I will still be taking my bias towards the short side because of certain criteria that I am looking at in terms of the IB -1. Now, next, I'm looking at my euro dollar. Euro dollar over here again, traders. Remember the two positions what I told you that we should be looking at? The low of this and the low of that. Okay, I'll be correlating a few levels before I even will be taking a short position on the euro dollar. I will tell you one thing, traders, that if you're a beginner at the moment, or if you've only traded for like 6 months or to a year, and you've not, even if you've done for 2-3 years of trading, if you have not done your stats on insider bars, if you've not done your stats on insider bars, I will tell you to stay away from them. Okay, don't trade them on an intraday basis, because they can be a bit confusing, and they can be very, very highly contrarian, and they can really knock out stops really fast as well. So be very wary of that. Be very wary of that, because remember, traders, it's not just about one trade always. It's about a cumulative set of trades which can keep you consistently profitable. All right. Great. So we go on to our presentation today. I want to get some basics out to you guys. So what we're going to be looking at is a stops to cash strategy right now, and we're going to be switching between the screens between live trading. Okay, and if I spot any positions or my team spots any positions, we'll be calling them out to you currently live. I'll be analyzing some trades, and I'll be calling out some levels as well, so that you all can learn in real time, not just theory, but also practically in real time, in forward time, no hindsight. Okay, right now, stops to cash traders is a very powerful strategy in the concept of taking the stops out of other traders and converting it to cash. Okay, that's what we are looking at. All right, very powerful concept, because this is what the market makers do as well. So it's following with their business model. All right, so we are looking at small losses, taking small losses only. So therefore, at least our reward to risk is going to be more than 1-to-1 at least, and with a 40% more than 40% reliability at least as well. Now, in terms of our objective, we are looking to capture 80% of the intraday move over here in terms of our intraday strategy here in stops to cash. So let me put this all to perspective very shortly. Okay, let's go through all this entry rules at the moment, and I'm going to correlate this onto the real-time 1-hour chart. Okay, I'm going to add in some more information. For some of you already seen some of these concepts, bear with me. It's always good to get a reminder and also to refresh yourself. Not only that, I'm just going to add on to this as well in real time. Right, as I've already said, and I've already mentioned up 10 times, you got to get your bias from the daily time frame. In fact, one of the traders who actually came to Trader Social has been following all our YouTube videos on our Master the Markets YouTube channel and on our WhatsApp groups as well. Okay, and what he's been following, he's made a modification of our elite intraday strategy, which is the morning glory strategy, and he's also using it based on this bias looking at the higher time frame. Traders, taking the bias from the higher time frame is a very powerful way to keep you on track and to keep your consistency there, to make it quantitative. All right, so the daily time frame is very critical. Okay, so take a look at that. Now I'll give you one important stats which I also shared in the Trader Social as well. Now on the daily time frame, traders, on the daily time frame, I'll give you a few more additional factors over here. Now you see, traders, on the outsider bar, you can see an outsider bar here, right, in terms of the cable position over here. Now, whenever any bar, right, any bar, regardless whether it's insider bar or outsider bar, any bar closes above. In fact, before I even tell, okay, never mind, I've already drawn it for you guys already. If I were to take out the open and the close, between the high and the low, one of the most important points is the midpoint. It's the midpoint, okay, the 50% midpoint of the bar, 50% midpoint of the bar, okay. Now, if the bar closes above the 50% mid-range, the probabilities of the next day taking out its high increases. Okay, what we found out for cable only, it's 71%. It's 71% chance that it will take out the high of the previous day's bar the next day. Okay, the next day. All right. So that is the probability. All right. Now, now let me give you one more stats over here. This additional stats for you. Now, if it's an outsider bar, just like today, okay, if it's an outsider bar like that, now let me give you one important stat that will really improve your trading performance. If it's an outsider bar, there is an 80% chance. There is an 80% chance. There's an 80% chance that it will take out the low. Before it takes out the high. Even more so. Okay. However, as you can see, the next day, in this example, was an insider bar, but still, traders, the probability still do stand, but of course, the 80% chance in the beginning reduces. Okay, the 80% chance reduces, but hold on to that. All right, and I want you to go and do some research on this. Outsider bars are very highly profitable points. Outsider bars are very highly profitable points. When an outsider bar closes below its 50% mid-range, there's an 80% chance that it will take out its low, then its high. Vice versa if it's for the long. Okay, right? Good. So even if it's an insider bar the next day, the edge is still towards the outsider bar's probabilities. The edge is still towards the outsider bar's probabilities. Okay, the IB -1, or if you may. Okay, great. Okay, so I've given you all of that at the moment. So that's to do all of the first point over here in terms of daily time frame. So I've given you one more additional point here about the outsider bar. Just a quick one, just to see that if everyone is getting what I'm telling you all at the moment. So if any bar closes above its 50% mid-range, what is the probability? Let's see if you all have been paying attention. What is the probability for cable at least, which is what I've given you at the moment, of it taking out the high the next day? All right, the first person to actually give the right answer is Gene Hansen. Gene, congratulations. Very good. Well done on getting your answer. Very good on getting your answer correct. So, Karan, if you want to just send Gene the details on how to collect their prizes. Gene, if you just want to pass on your contact details to us, and we can then award you the ticket, 50% discount, and which includes a free ticket to Traders Basecamp. Okay, which includes a free ticket to Traders Basecamp with a purchase of a ticket at 50% discount. Congratulations on winning that, Gene. Very good. 71% exact and precise. That's what it is. And that was done with our in-house programmer. That has been done with our in-house programmer. We're testing over 2,031 trades without including insider bars. Okay, that's the stats that we've got. If I got time later on, I will show the stats to you, or else at Traders Basecamp, we'll be showing all of that to you in full on, because you see, Traders Basecamp is not like any other workshop. It's fully research backed and high quality research over there with our quality research team at the behind, with our in-house programmers at the moment as well. Okay, 1 hour time frame. Now going on to the entries for stops to cash. This is so critical. Traders. Yeah, I'm going to show you some live examples over here at the moment as is happening in terms of this. Now here, what we want, if you're going long, I want to see a sell-off. Okay, I want to see a sell-off like this, going short on the downside. Okay, now the next thing what I do need, traders, after I've seen this sell-off, then I need a reversal move. With a bar like this, closing above its mid-range on the 1 hour time frame. Okay, all aligned with the bias. All right, so if the bias is up on the daily time frame, then I move on to the 1 hour time frame, look for a sell-off on the short side, and then on the 1 hour time frame, I'm looking for a reversal. Now let's look through this in a live scenario at the moment. So over here at the moment, in terms of cable, no, because I look for the bias on a IB -1, which is the OB over here. Then I go on to the dollar Swiss, As you can see over here, IB minus 1 is closed below its 50% mid-range. Okay, it's closed below its 50% mid-range over here. So I'm looking for a short. Now what we have on the 1 hour time frame, so remember that I'm looking for a short over here, right? I'm looking for a short because my bias on a higher time frame is on the short side based on my IB minus 1. IB minus 1 is like this, and my insider bar is like that. Okay, closed above. Right? So most of you understanding that. So this is on my daily time frame. So my bias from the higher time frame is on the downside. Now, perfect scenario traders, what we have is a real stops to cash situation happening at the moment. Is I'm having a buy on the 1 hour time frame. So I'm getting some really good buying strength over here, which the trade is going on the upside. Now, here is the point. Where I will be looking for a reversal bar. Okay, and the reversal bar needs to close below its 50% mid-range. So it can either happen like this. Here's some additional material for you as well. You can either close like this below its 50% mid-range, or the second pattern can be something like this as well. Second pattern can be something like this, where it closes as well below its 50% mid-range. Okay, so two of these scenarios you can take a short position. Each of those variations will have its own statistical probabilities, which we will be going through all similarly in Traders Basecamp. Okay, our 2-day full immersion workshop, which is coming up this weekend as well. Okay, so this is a very good one to look at. I'll be looking at this and to see where it closes into the end of the hour in terms of dollar Swiss. So look into this, traders, and see how that carries on to be. Okay, so that would be a good one. Euro dollar at the moment, again, similar thing. This is typical here. What are we looking at? So you guys tell me, what is the bias right now? What is the bias right now for euro dollar based on the daily time frame? What is the bias right now for euro dollar on the daily time frame? Type it into the chat box if the answer for that. Okay. Okay, some of you are saying Gene, of course, you're saying again. Gene, you still, yeah, I just remembered. I mean, Colin did ask you for your details, so you can pass on your details if you want to. Okay, right. On your mobile number and your email address. I see that you've not still provided that when you want to claim your price. It's totally up to you now. Right, uptrend is what Abdul is saying. Abdul, that is exactly right. So it's not really an uptrend. The bias is to the upside. It's to the upside what we are looking at. It's not really to the downside that some of you said. Margaret, Jean, Richard, no, it's not to the downside. Okay, the reason is this, right? I don't want to dwell on this too much because I'm running out of time as well. You got to take the bias from the IB minus 1. Okay, the IB minus 1. If you want to take a look at that once again, then you have to revisit the recordings. Now, this is what I got exactly right now. So the bias on the daily time frame, is to the upside. Okay, it's to the upside. Now we are having a sell-off on the 1 hour time frame. So now I'll be looking for this bar to close above its mid-range. At that particular point, we can then have a setup to go long. Okay, so I'll be looking into this towards the end of the hour, and we can all look at this together. Okay, so great. So that's what we have. That's what we have at the moment in terms of that. Right, so we got our 3 points over here. So which is what? Daily time frame bias, 1 hour time frame sell-off, and then on the 1 hour time frame, the bar is got to close above is 50% mid-range. 50% mid-range. Okay, great. Okay, so let's move on. Right, now as you can see, in terms of the stochastic, if you want to use the stochastic, what you can have is it's got to go below 20, but it's got to point upwards. Okay, minor confirmation is what we call it. Below 20, but point upwards. Okay, reward to risk ratio. Reward to risk ratio. At least bare minimum traders is got to be more than 1-to-1. More than 1-to-1. Okay, not 1.5 or 2-to-1, just at least a bit more than 1-to-1. So if you're risking, let's say 100 pounds, at least I want to get back another 100 pounds. If it's 150, 200, better still. But if I'm risking 100 pounds, I don't want to be getting 80 pounds. If you're risking 50 pips, I don't want to be earning 30 pips. You understand what I mean? So you get the drift? Great. Okay, so now moving on then, in terms of then placing the order, what we then do once we get all of this in line, all these 5 rules in place, then what we then do, especially for stops to cash, your reward to risk will be definitely more than 1-to-1 because you're entering in the lowest part of the range. Once you got all of that in line, you place your order for the bar which has closed above its 50% mid-range, okay? So that's what we do. So if you look back at that chart once again, as you can see, this is a perfect example over here. As you can see, this bar is highly probably going to close above its 50% mid-range on the 1 hour time frame. At that point, I place an order for the high of the bar, stop loss for the low of that bar, okay, at 10 a.m. Okay. A very quick check I'm just going to do at Forex Factory. Okay. Right. Let me just see. Forex Factory, what is it saying at the moment? Yes, we have news in terms of cable as well. At 9:30, it came out better than expected. So let's see how actually cable has actually acted towards that. We got a very big bar to the upside. You see, this is what happens. You've got everybody then brought into the short move with this big seller bar here, and now it's reversed against you. Okay, it's reversed against you. I'll still look for short positions in terms of this insider bar setup at the moment. But we've got to look at it at some critical levels. The first level what I'll be looking for is at least to take out this high. Okay, this is why I don't usually participate in insider bar trades on an intraday basis, because of a full research on insider bar setups has not been fully complete. I think the sad thing is most traders underestimate how much of research really needs to be done. Because remember, traders, we are in the game of sustainability, not just taking one trade and being a winner. We're not in that game at the moment. Okay, right, now let me carry on. In fact, in Trader Social, when I was asking the question, I mean, most people which I expect, over the 20,000 traders that we have trained and mentored over the conferences and seminars all over the world, actually 98% of them, they don't know what research is all about, and sadly enough, they don't even know how to ask the right questions to conduct the research as well. This is why it's so imperative to hang around the professionals, you know, and one amazing place to start off that, Traders Basecamp, 2 full-day immersion, beginner/intermediate workshop. Right, coming back to this, reward to risk, it's got to be at least more than 1-to-1. Remember that, all right? And then the pending order is put onto the bar that closes above 50% mid-range. Okay, great. Good. Okay, so we got our first interactive exercise. We already handed out some prizes already. Some of you really want to get your prizes, then of course give us your email and your contact details. Right, so a free ticket to Traders Basecamp with a purchase of a ticket at 50% discount. Okay, 50% discount, which will come down to about £47. Okay, for that you get immense value. Original price, if you want to get the whole thing all together, will be £597. Okay, £597. But here, prize winners will get it at £47. This whole thing. Not only you will get the Traders Basecamp for free, you'll get the Traders Essential Kit, which includes the 7 steps to profitability. This is so critical. I can't explain to you the importance of the Traders Essential Kit, because it will tell you systematically what you need to quantify your strategy and the 3 components that you need for essential success, which most traders won't even have. It also includes a psychology component as well, which gets your psychology in state as well. Okay, so let's go for this amazing price, amazing value. Right. So the question is, what should the reward to risk be for a morning glory trade, or actually for a stops to cash trade as well? Either one of these strategies. What should it be? The first answer first, quickest finger first. What is what? We got the first one. To get the answer is Peter Meller. Congratulations, Peter Meller. You've won the prize. You won an amazing prize of high value over here, which you come and join us and see and interact with us live in person on our Traders Basecamp workshop with the TE kit. Okay, great. So Karan, if you want to just give Peter the prize and tell him that basically, if you want to provide us with your contact details, your email address, and your phone number, we'll be more than happy to give you the prize, and our backend team will call you. All right, moving on swiftly. I'm aware of time. 20 to 10. Stop loss, traders, stop loss. I'm seeing some questions coming in. Okay, I'm really sorry, but I won't be able to take the questions straight away, but I'll take it in the end with the analysis of the live trades that are going on at the moment as well. Okay, good. So stop loss. Remember, when you are designing a stop loss, two types of stop loss always you got to take note of. Initial stop loss is the first one. Second one is your trailing stop loss. Okay, initial stop loss, traders, it's got to be the lowest point of this setup. Okay, let me just refresh your memory. The setup, the entry setup can be in two ways. One, it can be like this, as a V1 setup like that. Is what we call a V1 and master the markets. Okay, 3 bars going down, but the last bar closing above its mid-range. Okay, 2 seller bars followed by a buyer bar. Or the second way it can be is this way over here. Okay, is this way, which is a V pattern, where we got 2 seller bars, okay, coming in here, and then a turning point. In fact, on our end of day strategies for our live trade mentorship members, we actually do a specific strategy on an end of day basis on a daily time frame, and we call this 3-point turn, our profit turning points. Profit turning points. Okay, so the last bar here has got to close above its 50% mid-range. Okay, that's a reversal point for you. Okay, so in terms of this two kind of setups over here, your stop loss will go for the low of the setup, lowest point of the setup. Okay, either here or here. Okay, that's straightforward, right? Good. Now, trailing stop loss, we are using a very simple trailing stop loss. What I want to teach you over here, just based on time. Trail your stop loss every 2 1-hour bars to the lowest point of every 2 1-hour bars. Okay, so for example, if this is the current bar that is forming, it's not closed yet, then just trail your stop loss to the last 2 1-hour bars. So this is the last 1-hour bar, and this is the last second 1-hour bar, and you trail it to the stop loss of that last second 1-hour bar. I think that's the best way to put it. Yeah, the last second 1-hour bar. I guess you all get the understanding of that. So trail your stop loss every 2 1-hour bars to the low of that bar if you're going long, or to the high if you're going short. Okay, great. Okay, good. Right. Okay. Now, so that's all to do with that in terms of our stop loss mechanism. So every 2 1-hour bars. So this is your time-based stop loss. Okay, this is your what we call the time stops. So what we call the time stops. Okay, this is what we call the time stops. There are 2 types of stop losses as well. There are other 2 types of stop losses. Punch into your chat box if you do know the answer to that. Okay, there are 2 more types of stop losses as well. Okay, there are 2 more types of stop losses. Okay, I'm just quickly taking a look at the chat box over here. I think very quick point I must mention for all those, I think what you're having issue here is, I think Karan is having a bit of difficulty with Getting some numbers from some of you guys from the prize winners. The reason for the numbers what we ask is just to ship the T-kit, because the T-kit is a physical product. It's a 7-disc set that you put into a USB stick, so that's got to be shipped by our warehouse over here, and that is why we need the number to be provided to the warehouse to contact you guys as well. Okay, so that's why we are actually asking for the number as well as the email address. That's what we are doing. Okay, good. I'm actually getting some answers over here in terms of different types of stop that you all are getting. Okay, great. Okay, so I'll come back to all of that. So just a quick recap, the stop loss is every 2 1-hour bars. Every 2 1-hour bars. All right. Okay, good. So for the second prize, as I've said, interactive prize, T-kit at 50% discount, and you get a 2 full day Basecamp workshop. Whole total retail price at the moment, it's $597, and you get it for £47, and you get a free Traders Basecamp as well. Okay, so the question is what? The question is this. So for a long trade, how should we trail our stop loss? How should we trail our stop loss? Okay. Okay, great. So I'm getting a few answers over here. So I'm getting few answers over here. And actually, first in first, Indiran Narayanan. So you are the first one to get it right, Indiran. So Karan, you can go ahead and give Indiran the congratulations. You won the prize to come into Traders Basecamp and spending 2 full days with us. Okay, Indiran, very well done. Very well done. Okay, so if you want to provide us with your email address and your number so that we can ship the T-kit to you, it's a physical product that will be shipped to you. Right, great. Good. Okay, so next thing next, the target. Okay, target is what finally I want to cover. Your target can be for the swing high, swing low, or an X-pip range. So imagine you have to find out how many pips does generally on an average does that instrument travel. Okay, is it 90 pips? Is it 70 pips? And one more tip, traders, I can give to you all as well, and you can relate this to ATR levels as well. At Trader Social, we gave you all the stats towards this as well. Some of you were there as well, like Richard Angelis and all that. You were there, and you could then see the stats behind all of these ranges on what each instrument does as well. We got indicators to put on any instrument, onto the S&Ps, to the Dow, to the FTSE, to the gold, to the oil, to find out what is the average range it travels. Okay, what's the average range it travels? This is very important that you must know this answer. Okay, right. Now let's move on. Money management, traders, very critical. It's the essence to you not losing your profits. Okay, because most traders earn really good amount of profits, really catch a good run, but then they lose it all back. So this money management is so critical. Remember, there's 4 outcomes to a trade, which is small wins, big wins, small losses, and big losses. Okay, the last thing you ever want to do is have a big loss, or as much as possible, 70% of the time, you don't want to get your initial stop loss hit. You don't want to get your initial stop loss hit at least 70% of the time. If you're getting that, then there's something wrong. Okay, great. So in terms of these 3 things, to get at least small wins, big wins, or small losses, your risk management is very important. So one way is 1% risk management, which is the standard one, which we teach at Traders Basecamp anyway. And the next one is your standard pip position sizing. Your standard pip position sizing. This. To find this out, you need 1 critical stats. To find this out, you need 1 critical stats from your trading strategy. Do you all know what that is? Do you know what that critical stance would be to find out what should be your standard pip position size? Go in and type it into the chat box. If you know the answer for a standard pip position sizing, what is 1 main stats that you do need to know? Okay, so I'll let you all go in and type into the chat box for the answer for that. What is one main stance that you do need to know for standard pip position sizing? Great. Okay, so all of you know that. So do remember 1% risk management or standard pip position sizing. Standard pip position sizing. Okay, great. So let's move on. Let's move on. So these are all some live trades. You can go and take a look at them at your own leisure. I just put some examples over here that you can go and revisit in terms of all the trades that has happened. Okay. Good, 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 good. I'm going to go into live into the market in a moment as well. I'm going to check some levels for you guys as well as it's happening. Okay, our final prize away to give away for today. Exercise 3 ticket purchase 50% discount gives you a free ticket Traders Base Camp. Total original price of this is $597. Okay, retail price, and you as a prize winner, you're not going to pay that price. It's only at £47 on a ticket. Original price of ticket is £97. 50% discount is £47. That will give you a free ticket, Traders Base Camp, beginner/intermediate workshop. The amazing thing about this is, traders, remember that as I've already, and maybe you already kind of realized by now, is that your gap in knowledge, and a gap in knowledge can be really easily covered by hanging around the professionals. Okay, that's the fastest way that you grow, and then you also acquire that professional mindset. Okay, great. Okay, good. So let's move on to the last question of the day for the last prize winner. Name one target that you can use for stops to cash. Name one target that you can use for stops to cash. Okay, so that is the question, and whoever gets it right, fastest finger first. I'm already seeing people looking to type it in already, and we can see some answers already coming in. Okay, already seeing coming in over here, as we can see. So let's see who is going to get that right in the beginning. Okay. So we're getting some answers coming in over here. That's that. So whoever gets it right, we will be announcing the prizes. Okay. Okay, good. I guess only the intermediates. I mean, those who've already got it. Richard, yes, we've already got the prizes before, so that's all good. So yeah, okay, so move on. So we'll see whoever gets it right, then we will give the prizes out. So that's coming to the end of the presentation. I will allow Karan and our backend team to choose our most interactive participant as well, to give you all a prize as well. Okay, to give you all a prize as well. Okay, good. Now, just quickly, I just want to see, in terms of the participants over here, how many of you are in UK and how many of you are overseas? Okay, how many of you are overseas or how many of you are in UK? Okay, I think quite a few of you. I think it's always usually about 50-50, isn't it? I mean, that we get UK and overseas. Great, wow, it's quite a lot of people from everywhere. Okay, great. So I just want to conclude off. Now, you see, there was one question that I was getting from Peter just now. Peter, congratulations for winning the Traders Essential Kit. Now, in the Traders Essential Kit, we will be explaining this to you as well, because some of our strategies that we trade over here will be given to you as well, Gene as well, that will all be inside your Traders Essential Kit. Now, you can see, Peter, that you were saying that you were confused a bit, that you're looking for a short order, not a long order. Okay, so we got to be, let's get quantitative over here, right? I'll show you quantitatively. Now, the setup that we are having in most of the currencies as of yesterday, remember we take the bias from the daily time frame, right? Yeah. So you first look at the daily time frame first. What we have over here, Peter, is, and for others in the room, just to get this concept very clear, what we have over here is an insider bar at the moment. Okay, yesterday's bar was an insider bar. An insider bar is one that is engulfed within the previous bar's range. So we got something like this. Okay, this was yesterday's bar, previous day's bar. Now, because the previous day's bar is so small, insider bar, deriving information from that is not really valid. Okay, so what we then do, we take the information from the IB minus 1. IB minus 1. But do remember, what I'm just telling you over here is just generic. It will actually vary according to the position and the location of where the insider bar forms. This is what I was asking you all a question just now about the 4 locations in which an insider bar can form, to which all of you in this room couldn't answer. What I want to get you all aware of the gap in knowledge. If you're not able to ask the right questions, you'll be sitting in front of the screen for the next 10 years and still not be able to make the equity curve positive. Okay, this is what I was telling at Trader Social. This is what we tell at the conferences. This is what we tell at the webinars. This is what we tell at the live trading week that we do as well. Okay, so the final thing, I'm very aware of time. There's only 7 more minutes left before I hand it over. In fact, I only got 2 more minutes really before 5 minutes before that I got to finish up. IB minus 1, right? IB minus 1. What you got to look at now, Peter and everyone else, if you see that it's closing above, it's 50% mid-range. I'm just going to give you a generic one, okay? But you got to go do your own research on this. If it's closed above 50% mid-range, then my bias will be to the short side. So very quickly, if I look for the euro dollar, right? For the euro dollar, you can see, exclude out today what it's doing. I'm not bothered about what is happening right now. Over here, you can see that it was IB minus 1 closed above is 50% mid-range, and you had an insider bar closing below is 50% mid-range. We are not bothered about where this closes. We are more concerned about where the IB minus 1 closes. That's what we got. So the bias is still to the upside. And over here, we got a perfect stops to cash scenario. Bias is to the upside. Good sell-off over here. And now we got a bar which is closing above on the 1 hour time frame on its 50% mid-range. I'm going to just shout out some levels. So basically over here on the high, 1115.05, 1115.10, 1115.10. I'm just going to punch all this over here. So euro dollar long position over here is what we have, and the entry is going to be at 1115.10. 1.1510. Do remember in the last live trading week that we did with Pelican, we caught dollar Swiss live and we made 140 pounds live in real time, real cash in front of everyone. Okay, in front of everyone. Okay, now stop loss is going to be for the low of that bar, 11493, 1.1493, and our target, it's going to be 0.7 ATR of this particular range. Okay, 0.7 ATR. So 0.7 is 63. So 63, oops, I looked at the wrong currency pair. So it's going to be over here, 76. So 0.7 times 76 is what I'm looking at. 0.7 times 76 is what I'm looking at. Who knows the answer to that? 0.7 times 76 before I get it on my, okay. 53 pips is what we got. 53 pips is what we have. 53 pips is what we have. So 53 pips. Now 53 pips over here roughly is going to be 11547. 11547. 1.1547. Okay. Now I've put that onto the chat box. And that's pretty much that. Okay, so that's it. You've got the entries. You've got to check for the high once again. That's pretty much that. Okay, great. One more important thing before I close up, wrap up. So this is towards the end already. This is towards the end already of our presentation. Sorry, we are just coming up to the end. I know every one of you enjoyed it. High quality here, research backed as well. Traders Essential Kit, good place to start. And also, if you want to get all our live trading updates and everything, and you want to see live trading in real time, all the videos and all that backed up, what you can do is join our WhatsApp group. Join our WhatsApp group. Karan will be giving that to you. We'll be giving that to you very shortly. Very shortly. Okay, very shortly. Karan will be giving that to you on how to join our WhatsApp group. Two simple steps, takes you less than 2 seconds, and how you can get all our live trading updates for free altogether. Right, final thing is, yes, best participants and all that, you all have won the prize and everything. So for us to ship the T-Kit to you, the Traders Essential Kit over to you, just pass us your email address and your number. your email address and your number. Okay, that will be great. Okay, I guess that's pretty much that. I don't think I'll be able to handle any more questions. I'll see you all at Traders Basecamp for those of you who won the prize and are coming over. Okay, great. I think that's pretty much that from me. Thanks a lot, Simon.
Okay.
Sorry for running a bit too late.
No, that's okay. We've got a few minutes, Thiru. Thank you very much. So I'll take the presenter role back from you now, and yeah, we'll say goodbye to Thiru Nagappan from Master of the Markets. Thank you for getting us started today.
Thanks a lot, Simon.
No.